This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, yesterday what we are doing, so we are trying to understand about the JavaScript. Okay, so for the practice purpose, what we can do, you can create one folder, create a file. Maybe you can use any notepad or any text editor. While saving, you have to save as any name. Just I'm giving as index, but you can give any name .html. And also for the JavaScript, I created one file. So we connected this both by using script. Yeah, this is the way I'm referring to that file. So here, whatever the logic we write, so automatically when we see the preview, automatically you see the JavaScript loaded. Okay, I'm opening this the browser. Okay, for now we are printing in the console. When you click on inspect in the console, you see so far whatever. So we are typing, everything will be there. Okay, so let's understand a little bit more. So yesterday we understood the memory statement, one of the basic type. So we have other types of statements, arithmetic and logical statements, right? Statements. So for that, mainly we use those to do the calculations and all those things. Yeah, nothing but those are nothing but the operator, right? So if we use plus, so we call that as arithmetic operator, right? And if you use equal to, we say it is a assignment operator like that. Okay, maybe let me list out um, first thing as part of this. Okay, so just understand about the arithmetic operator. Okay, so arithmetic. This one is in the comment, right? So to understand that, all we do just we use plus operator to do some of the calculations, right? So as an example, what I'll do, I'm defining a variable. Okay, so let's say here I'm storing a number, and also the previous statements I'm just commenting to avoid conflict, right? So I'm just focus on now whatever we are typing. Okay, so let's say here I'm taking some number. Okay, so for now, ultimately we need to see as the output, so that you can understand easily, right? So in general, to print, so we use console.log. So here what I want to show you, so whatever the number is holding 100. For that, if you want to add anything, so what we do, right? Number plus whatever you want to add, right? So now what will happen? 100 plus 2, right? 102. You will see the result as 102. Okay, let's see that is happening or not. Okay, just refresh. So 102, right? So we're saying that in the same way, in the console, right? If you want to print multiple expressions, so we can use a comma, right? And we can use like this. Okay. Um, so here, arithmetic operator means not only plus, right? So minus, star, star means multiplication, division, many things are there. Okay, let's also understand about subtraction, right? So num means nothing but 100. From that, I'm subtracting 2. That means it has to print 98. right? Let's just, I'm refreshing this page. So if you see, we're also seeing 98, right? So like that, you can try with other operators, right? So let's say um, if you want to multiply, right? So let's say I'm multiplying with the 2, and also I'm multiplying with maybe dividing with 2, right? Let's see the results. Just refreshing. Now if you see 100 multiplied by 2, 200. 100 by 2 is 50. So all those calculations it is doing. Yeah, here we also have square and cube kind of thing. So example, if I give number 2 stars, it's like 100 square, means 100 into 100, right? It's like that. Let's see. 100 square means I think 100. I think 100 square means 100 and again 100 times again. One more 100. Okay, if you want cube, let's take cube. Right? So like that, we can also use those kind of things. Okay, so just to understand, that is one of the example. And also in JavaScript, okay, so here we are adding two numbers, right? So now if you want to concatenate some of the strings, right? For example, so I'm defining the first name. Okay, I'll take some first name. Yeah, this is the first name and last name. And also, while uh, both are like same type, right? So if you want to define multiple variables together, you can also keep comma at last name like this. I'm giving. You can also do like that. Okay, now ultimately all we need, I need to combine these two names and display the full name, right? So for that, console.log, right? So here first name plus last name, right? Now let's see how it looks. Just refresh and now if you see, but there is no space, nothing, right? So Rashmi TN, there's no space. So if you want to give the space, right here like this, we concatenate with that space. That way now if you refresh, you see Rashmi TN, right? So let's say before to that I want to add full name. While printing, I want to print like full name, right? Full name. After that, plus like this I'm giving. Right now, while printing, how it prints. So full name. Again, for that there is no space. So let's say I want to print like this. Full name Rashmi TN. So like that. Okay, so we use maybe same plus operator. So in one place it is doing addition, in some places it is doing the concatenation. So that's the behavior. Okay, and also writing like this, right? Whenever this is a string, and this is a dynamic value, right? This value will be whatever is stored in that first name, that one, right? This is dynamic based on whatever the value present in that variable that it will add. But this is a hard coded text, right? So if you want to combine every time, we need to use plus operator and combine like that. But in the modern JavaScript, Okay, to make this easy. Okay, so we call as template strings. Okay, so if you make use of that concept, so how it works, I'll explain. Okay, so instead of in general, right, single, these are the single quotes, right? So in the keyboard you see, um, right, below to double quote you will see that the single quotation. So instead of single quotation, so we have one more. So for the template text, okay, so in our keyboard, right, so the first key, so you see shift, hold that, sorry, without shift, you hold it. So this symbol we use, okay, I think we call this as backtick or something. Okay, so not single quote. Okay, we have to use this, and inside that, if you want to give the text, you can give text as is, it will take as text. But any dynamic value if you want to give, so we need to use a dollar, and within the floor brackets. So we have to give that dynamic variable, right? Let's say first name. And after this, I want space. Give space. Right after that, again I want last name. Again take this dollar and take that last name like this, right? So if you see, um, this is easy. So no need to every time use plus operator, all those things. Exactly, this will print whatever here we are printing, right? So let's see. You see that two times. The second one is due to the new template string. Okay, so this will be useful. Okay, so you can consider using this. So as per, right, JavaScript, there are many. So like other languages, in JavaScript also they release the versions. Okay, so JavaScript versions we call as ECMAScript. We'll say EA. I mean ES. The short form we use as ES. Okay, so ES6 is one of the version where from JavaScript they introduced many new changes, the modern concepts. Many modern concepts are introduced in ES6 version. Okay, and also if you want to know, this JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, everything is managed by, there is a organization. So this company, so they manage the HTML, CSS, so JavaScript, all those things. So this company they decide, um, what most of the browsers. If you take browsers, right? So we have Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge. So this company decide, so what is the web standard. So based on that, all the browsers will start supporting that version. Okay, sometimes maybe by default what browser support and the latest version of the JavaScript might be different. Okay, that time, so additionally we need to refer some file and we will execute. But so the thing is, if you don't want to refer anything, the browser whatever we use, that should support that JavaScript or HTML or whatever we are writing. Okay, mostly we use the updated browser. Okay, so as per the standard, so whatever the version needs to be supported, browsers will support that. Okay, but if you see, if still in some companies if they are using Internet Explorer. Maybe some of the features might not be supported in that. Okay, so it's like that. Just get to know if someone say, do you know ES6? Okay, so we are discussing all those things as part of this JavaScript basics. Okay, so that's about that. Okay, anyway, this will be useful. The next thing what I want to show you, right? Um, when we have the operators, right? Um, we have the this is arithmetic operator. In the same way, we have assignment operator means already we are using this equal to is nothing but the assignment operator, right? So maybe in this example, the assignment operator also covering arithmetic operator also we are covering, and also these operators, right? So what we'll do sometimes, right? In general, one of the variable plus that one we are doing. So what we do, example, let me define one thing. Right? Okay, I equal to 0. Okay? Instead of saying I plus 1 like that, okay, we say unary operators. All we do, we use I plus plus. Right? If I do like this, what will happen? The meaning of this one is nothing but I is equal to I plus 1. So that's the meaning. Right? In a single expression, we write like that. Now, what it will print? It should print 1, right? Okay, so but it is printing 0. Um, the thing is again the way what it returns. I mean, directly what I am doing, I am incrementing and printing immediately. That's why still you are seeing 0. So what I'll do to show you, here I am keeping that I plus plus. So now we are printing that I value. Okay, now you'll see that I value as 1, right? But directly if you use what is happening, it is returning still 0, right? So I plus plus. Okay, but we have pre increment. If you use like this, also it will increment by 1, but while returning, it will return 1 directly. Okay, um, I mean the return if you use after, right, post to the value, so the return value what it will return is the previous value only it will return. So before itself if you use, so while returning it will return the latest value. So slight difference is there. Okay, but most of the times we use this. Okay, just get to know those things, right? Otherwise, in general, right, how we need to write if you don't use that operator, we use I equal to I plus 1. Okay? That is the regular way of using, right? So now if you print, it will print value by 1. Okay? So like that. Okay, anyway, I think this way is a better way. Okay, so just understand. Yeah, I'm just commenting. I'm keeping this. So that's about in the same way. Not only plus, right? We also use minus minus. It will decrement the value by 1 like that. Okay, not only I, you can use any other A, B, C, X, Y, Z, whatever you want. Okay. So, but yeah, these kind of so these variables going forward, we discuss about loops. You see people starting from I. We will discuss that later. This is some of the basics, and the next thing. So we have um, the logical operators. Okay, so we have uh, again we have relational operators and logical operators. Let me explain about the relational operators. Means we use these operators for the comparison purpose, right? So let's say I'm defining constant again. So here I'm defining number 1 equal to, let's say I'm giving 50, right? And let's say number 2, so I'm giving as 30, right? So like that. Now I'm using so console.log. Okay. So here um, number 1, number 2, to compare, I want to know which is big. Okay, how we compare? So we use number 1 is greater than number 2, right? Greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to, right? All those are the comparison operators, right? So just we know all these possibilities, right? So let me keep comma number 1, all the possible combinations. Let's print it and see, right? So greater than, equal to, right? Less than, equal to, double equal to, not equal to, right? Like that. Okay. So now expression expected. Okay. So maybe JavaScript that is not supported. Maybe this is also one of the way to define not equal to. Okay. Now we know 50 greater than 30, it will return true. This will also return true. And this one 50 less than 30, no, wrong, false. This will also return false. This will also return false because both are not same. This will return true because not equal to, that is correct, right? So let's see that is happening or not, right? True, true, false, last one true. Okay, so it's working. I mean, like this, these we call as relational operators. Okay, and also here one slight uh, just difference. So I want to explain. So now you saw the result, right? So true, false, false, all those things you are seeing. So let me define. So one more, number 3 is equal to, again I'm giving 50. So I'm using one more console.log. Here I'm printing number 1 is equal to number 3. Both are same, right? But what I'll do here, this 50 I'm taking as a string instead of a text, instead of a number. If you enclose in the single quote or double quote, so we treat that one as a string. So I'm comparing. What do you think it returns? So both are 50-50 only, right? If you use double equal to, it will treat both as same. even though there is a difference with the data type, still both are same, right? You see, it's returning true, right? So again, which line exactly it is returning from here, you can click and check. This is the one returning true, right? But even though both are same, there is a difference in the data type. One is a number, other one is a text. Including data type, if you want to compare, so that time we use this triple equal to. Okay, so this is how we work. So triple equal to, along with the value, it will also verify both are having same data type or not. Even though both are having same value, this is a number, this is a string, so it will return false. Okay, check false, right? So that's why in the JavaScript, whenever you want to do comparison, right, the relational operator, so we use triple equal to. Okay, and also right, the difference. So based on the situation, based on how you want in the logic, you can consider using either double equal to or triple equal to. In the same way, we have not equal to also. So we have, so if we say, we use a double not equal to, single not equal to, right? So that is also there. You can try with that. Yeah, I'm not adding those. Okay, so these are the some of the points about the relational operators. Okay, so these comparisons and everything returns either true or false, and also not only these comparisons, right? So sometimes in the JavaScript, how we use, um, so let's say, um, so as a condition, right, console.log. So we know that number one is having 50 number, right? So in some conditions going forward, I'll show you. So we have a concept called truthy value and falsy value. Okay. So if you convert anything into boolean, okay, let me convert and show you so that you will see the difference. Right. I'm just saying boolean of any type. JavaScript will convert into either true or false. Yeah, I'm giving that number one. Right. Number one means 50. So the thing is, any value is there, like 50, 30, or some text or anything, it will consider as a truthy value. Okay, so it will return true, right? So just understand that. Okay, so when compared to understanding the truthy value, we should know about the falsy values, right? Instead of number one, directly we can also give, so whatever you want, you and check any content is there that it will consider as true. But falsy, right? When it is false, so we need to know the list of falsy values, right? So if there is nothing is there, right? Let's say there is a variable and there is nothing, like undefined, right? Let's say undefined means nothing is there. We treat that one as false. Okay, you can verify, right? You see that it's printing false, right? In the same way, zero, right? Any zero, let's say there is a number and zero, it will consider that one as a false value, right? Let's say I'm giving number zero, even though zero is a number, it will treat zero as false, right? Even if you give that zero in the in the string format. Let's say, so I'm giving in the string format, right? 0. That it is, if you give in string format, it will think that there is a value. But if you are not giving in the string format, so that time 0 JavaScript consider as false. Okay, these things we should know. Okay, let's say if there is nothing, just empty string, so that one also Salesforce they treat as false. Okay, that is also false. Okay, and also we have right. So null, right? Null means nothing is there. So to represent that there is nothing, intentionally or not assigning anything, we can give null. Okay, null is also a false. See that it's returning as false. And also in some situations, um, right? So you see, not a number in some calculations and some places, right? So if you are doing some calculation and if it is not a number, it will throw error. For example, so let me show you console.log, right? So I'm I know that test is not a number. From that I'm subtracting 5. Let's see what will happen. Right? If you see, you are seeing not a number, right? So when you get not a number, right? So that also, if you try to convert as a boolean, you see that returns false. Okay, so boolean not a number, right? Go back and just check. Not a number is defined again. Where is the error? Okay, I mean directly while converting, I think it is throwing error. But in general, NN is a false, is not defined. Okay, because I am directly using, that's why it is throwing. Let me use that expression there directly. Think directly referring, I think it won't support. Okay, so now, yeah, now if you see, so false. Okay, these are the false values. Okay, so this will be very useful. Okay, so going forward while discussing about the conditional statements, we mostly use this comparison. Ultimately, all these things, comparisons, right? All these things return either true or false. Going forward, when we discuss about the conditional statements, those needs either true or false to enter into a condition. We will discuss that time. But these basics, if you know, so yeah, it's better. Okay, so just understand that. Okay, so the next thing, maybe if you want some technical terminology, this one we call as a unary operator. Okay, so even though I mean, as soon as you know the concept how it works, the technical names, if you don't know, also it is fine. Right? So like this, if you use expressions I plus plus I minus minus, we call as unary operator. So if you are combining, so not only two, right? You, you can also add any number of values, whatever you feel. This entire expression, this is an example of the binary operator. Okay, binary means multiple. Even though there is a huge expression, so internally how it works, it will take it will take one of these two, and again some of this, and finally, right, one by one it will do the calculation. But how it do, is it like it is going to add this one first or subtract this one later and add it, or it will add it, after that it will add everything, and after that it will subtract. So based on the language, there is a concept called operator precedence. Okay, language to language. So internally, so when there is a plus operator, when there is a minus operator, star, slash, they have some order for which they give the priority. As per that they do. Okay, but even though we don't know, still we can work. So let's say this one, while doing the logic, my intention is I want to add everything first and subtract, or first I want to subtract this one and add to the remaining two. So you use brackets so that it will be clear. Okay, for sure this will be separately to calculate, and after that it will continue with the additions. Okay, those kind of things, just get to know. Okay, the next thing what I want to explain, right? This is a binary, this is a unary. The same way, we have one of the operator ternary. Okay, so ternary operator means it deals with the three expressions. Okay, binary, even though there is a big expression, always it deals with two values and one operator. Right? Ternary means we use total three operators. Okay, so one of the example for the ternary operator. So let's say here we have this I, right? So if I am checking the condition is greater than 10, right? So this is the one condition. As a first part, we use the condition. As a second part, is this condition is true or false? We use question mark. Okay? So is that is true or false? If it is true, it will enter into this part, whatever I'm going to write. Let's say I want to print console.log. So I is greater than 10. Right? Otherwise, right, or right question mark immediately whatever we write. So if this expression is true, this will be executed. If that expression is false, right, after colon whatever we give, that will be executed. Right. So here I am giving I is less than 10. Like that I am giving. Okay. So just so understand that. Okay. Now let's see here. We see when we refresh here, I is less than 10. Right. That is correct. Right. So let's say if I example, maybe I'm uncommenting this. So the shortcut is control slash. I think in Mac it is command slash. I think in Windows either control slash or alt slash. Okay. So I mean in VS Code. Anyway, even though you don't know, you type like this, you do it like this. So here I am adding 10 so that such a way I will be greater than 10. Right now, if you just refresh, so I is greater than, right? So like that, we use the ternary operator. Okay, so here we use some condition and like that. Okay, so just to understand, and also, um, right? So maybe let me take one more example. Um, we can combine with the other expressions. Example, say maybe here I'm adding, okay, before printing that I set present, I think it is printing as 11. Okay, so here I'm just checking if I is greater than 10. I mean before to that. So what I want I equal to. So I'm checking if I is greater than 10. Okay, I'm going to question mark. Okay, so what I want to do. Um, so let's say I want to give 20, right? Otherwise, so I'm giving as 0. And now what will happen? But I is greater than 10. Here you will see it's printing 20. Otherwise, it will print 0. Right? I'm directly assigning that result to one of the value. Okay, just if you see 20, you are seeing like that. Okay, you can use that, but that is about the ternary operator. Okay, so just understand. Okay, and also few other things I want to explain. Maybe few things you don't see in the Apex, but here in the JavaScript, so you see many additional things. Okay, so here technically we call as type conversion, right? Uh, Meaning, so let me use console.log. Okay, so here, right, I'm just adding 19 plus 11. What is the result? You see 30, right? So I'm saying 30. Okay, so now if you give this one, right, I'm giving as a string. 19 is a number, but 11 in a string format I'm keeping. Now what will happen? 19 plus 11, right? If you see 19 plus 11, right? It's not adding, it is concatenating, right? That's what is happening, right? So, but okay, and so I want to explain with other operators. Okay, if you use, let's say, minus, right? So what will happen? If you use star, or if you use slash, whatever the other operators, so what will happen? Automatically, JavaScript will take care of converting this 11 into number and subtract, and it will give 8 like that. Okay, so let's see. If you see here, we're seeing 8, right? The other one multiplication also it is doing, even though it is in a number format. So automatically JavaScript can convert and take care of doing the calculation, even though it is in the string format. Okay, but only for plus operator, it think that intentionally we are adding the number with a string. So that's why it won't do the calculation. So automatically. Okay. So just understand that one. Okay. Um, so really, if you want to add this also instead of concatenating, right? So we can convert that into number. Okay, to convert the number in the string format into proper number format. So we have to use like boolean, and inside that we give value like that. If we use like this, so whatever the value present, it will try to convert into number. Okay, in case if that is not a number, it will say nan, right? Now it is adding, right? So like that. Okay, so these are the some of the concepts. Okay, so just understand about this. Okay, the next thing, all these are the relational operators, right? So we also have logical operators. Okay? So logical operators means there can be multiple conditions, right? Sometimes we work with the multiple conditions, not only single condition. We work with the multiple conditions, right? So that time, in general, as part of the logical operators, you see we use and, right? And means it will two conditions, right? First condition and the second condition. We use like that. So or, right? And not means reverse, right? True will become false and false means true. Like that, if we expect in reverse, we use that. So these are the some of the logical operators. Sorry, logical operators. So how we work with this? Okay, let me show you. Okay, so basic example taking, right? So condition one, condition two. Right? So let's say consider using above one only. Number one is greater than number two. Is it correct? Yes, right? Number one is 50, number two is 30. 50 is greater than 30, true. But I want end. Also, I want that number one should be greater than 50, right? End, right? It's number one should be greater than 50, right? Now, what is the final result? You will see, because number one is greater than 50, no, right? There is 50 greater than 50, no. So this is false. Sorry, this is true and this is false. True and false becomes false, right? End means both should be true, then only it should become true. Okay, the final result, what you see false, right? So like that, right? Um, so maybe if you want to see full, I mean, all possible combinations in a better readable way. So what I'll do, right? I'm taking this template string like this, and first, okay, so as it is, so this number one, right? Number one is greater than number two. That's what I'm checking. The result, whatever it gives in the bracket, right? If you don't use like this, it won't treat as a dynamic expression, right? This entire thing it will print as a text. Here I'll check number one greater than number two. This will be true, right? And how I want. So I'll say end. That will be printed again. Okay, so here rather than, so let's say I'm saying 10. Okay, yeah, true. That is also true, right? So, but actual, this is the dynamic expression. Okay, so is equal to finally the result. What is the result? Is it true or false? So now here really I'll combine. Um, I mean, initial phase maybe this is difficult, but my point just in a visual way in the output to see. Just I'm trying that. Okay, so and this number 10. Okay. So now while printing, how it prints, if you see here, number 1 greater than number 2, right? So which is a true, and number 1 greater than 10 again, which is also a true, right? So but what is the value of the number 1, number 2? We have confusion. Let's say I want that also. So what I'll do, I want that actual value instead of, I'll also keep like this. So now the actual values also it will print. Okay, here also dynamic. Let's see, let 50 greater than 30 true and 50 greater than 10 true, right? Since both are true, true is equal to true, finally true, right? So let's say the right side part I will take as false. Let's say this one I am expecting this one as greater than 50, right? Which will lead to false. Okay, so let's see the result. See true and false. Sorry, here it is why it is giving true. Okay, here also I need to change. Okay, so false. I mean, my point is all combinations true, 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 false, false. In the same way, false, true will be again false, right? Both false, also false. Yeah, in general, when we study, we see that table, right? To understand. So I'm trying to replicate. Yeah. Any questions? Okay, so this one I'm making this one as reverse less than I'm checking. That way, that is false and the true combination I want, right? Maybe false true combination. So I'm setting this and when both are false, how it will be that I'm keeping here. Okay, so let's check. Okay, so if left side false, right side true, still false, both are false, still false, right? Like that. The logical operators works like that. Okay, this is for AND, right? So for AND, this is how it is working. But when we deal with the R, right? How it works? So maybe same thing. So maybe for us in the output to see properly. I'm checking uh, AND operators. So now same thing with the R operator. how it works, right? So all I'll do, instead of end, so I'll take R. R will be like this. Okay. So now if you see, R means if any one of the value is true, right? Left side true, right side true, true, left side true, right side false, true, right? Any one of the value is true, the final value will be true. I think while printing here, okay, just to refresh. Now if you see R, right, means any one of the value is true, finally it is true. Only if everything is false, right? So that time only it will be false, like that. That's R operator, right? So we have not. So not operator is a reverse thing, right? So if it is true, that will become false. False means it will become true, right? So for that, just console.log. All I'll do, not true, right? And I'm printing not false. Exactly, it becomes reverse, right? Here we were seeing false, right? And here we are seeing true, right? Exactly reverse you are seeing. Okay, so that's about the not. Okay, these are about the logical operators. Okay, so I think with this, right? So we 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 know the different arithmetic and logical operators, how these are working. Okay, so the next thing, I think one thing what I'm missing. So we have when we work with this, maybe this only here, we have arithmetic assignment, meaning let's say here I am using I equal to I plus 10, right? So finally, so here 1 plus 11. So 11 greater than 10, then it is printing 20. So now instead of this, right, how you can write this one? I can give like this, plus equal to. You will see the same result. The meaning of that one is nothing but I equal to I plus 10. That we call as arithmetic assignment. In the place of plus, you can also use minus, star, or whatever other things. Okay, so if you use minus, meaning I equal to I minus 10, right, like that. Okay, so just understand. The assignment. No need to by heart. I mean, if you know how we use, even though you don't know that name, that is fine, right? So these are the possible options. The next thing is about the conditional statements. Right now, we know how we deal with the relational operators, logical operators. Now we use those in the conditions, right? So conditional statements will decide based on the condition whether to execute some lines of code or not. That we control using this. In general, we use if, else, and switch, those kind of things. So that part we discuss tomorrow. Okay. So so far today, any questions, anyone? I mean, any confusion on understanding or anything? Just you can ask. Any questions, anyone?
Yeah, tomorrow do we have class?
Today is Wednesday, right?
Hmm.
Tomorrow, Thursday, we have class.
Okay.
Okay, so August 15th, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so for us, I am in EST, so but still we have class. Okay. In case if you
Okay.
are not able to attend, I will just share the recording. Okay. So
Hmm.
the recordings in the meeting invitation itself, you can find it. Okay. Here I'm adding. Mostly, maybe in our daytime it might not be available. After this, I will sleep, and in my morning I will add. It's like that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Sir, so like we yesterday you told no need to go with admin, like we can come to development directly. So if we understand these basic things, we can come to development, right, sir?
Yeah, you can attend development, but still I recommend to watch the
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least.
Parallelly, I'm checking with those. Yeah.
Yeah, so get to know there is one thing called trailhead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe watch those first three recordings. Okay, after that, when you sign up for the developer edition account, right? So
Mm-hmm.
let's say to have the account, you need to go to this website, browse for trials. Okay, you need to under Salesforce developer edition. Okay, you need to sign up here. Your valid
Okay.
email address and username can be anything, something at that something.com like that. Okay, and you have to give valid email address. You will get one email, set the password. Okay, once you set the password to log in daily, login.salesforce.com. Okay, enter your username and password, and you will be logged into the Salesforce account. Okay, so if you have this, there is a website called Trailhead. If you search in Google, you will get it. Trailhead.salesforce.com. So here, in case if you are not logged in here, so let's say I will log out. Okay, initially, I mean, first time when you try to log in, there are different ways to log in. Okay, so when you log in and you see options instead of Salesforce, just click on Trailhead. You see these options. You know your developer edition email, right? One way is you enter that email address, and next you will get one verification code. If you enter, you will be logged into Trailhead. Otherwise, click on this and already, if you are logged into your Gmail in your browser, choose that so that automatically you will be logged into Trailhead. Okay, maybe first time it might ask you to fill some details. Just fill that and continue. Right. Once you log in here, okay. So just a few things. Um, I recommend just go through this trial. You in this just this is very easy. This one just go through that, and this one right here you see about some relationships, how we relate one object with the other object. Okay, so mostly if you know this concept, I think you'll be good with whatever we are going to discuss. Okay, so watch
Okay.
those videos and try to do this so that until you complete development, these are sufficient. But in admin, there are many concepts, some tips and tricks you need to know while working. You can cover those as part of the next batch. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? Now we are understanding about JavaScript basics. But we also need to know Apex. Okay, what I'll do after understanding these JavaScript basics, same approach. in Apex how we do. Slight differences will be there. So once we understand both basics, we'll start working on developing the UI components, and based on the need, we'll try to understand the advanced concepts of the JavaScript and Apex like that. Okay. Yeah. Any final questions before ending? Okay. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you.